Relax, let me pamper you. Just don't stress, it's only me and you here.
You look beautiful, Ma.
What is your name? Linda. You ignored me. I'm sorry, Ma, I was cleaning. Victor!
Yes, Zara?
Fire her.
Everyone in Lagos knew that Victor had built one of the fastest-growing logistics companies in Nigeria. At 50 years old, he owned expensive houses, luxury cars, and a successful business that employed hundreds of workers. People admired him because he had started from nothing. But behind all the success was a secret. Victor had a wife named Grace and 3 children. They lived peacefully until one afternoon when Victor told Grace he had bought a piece of land in the village.
Grace,
I think
it's
it will
better
be better
if
if you and the children
stay
stay there for
But
some
why?
time,
The children are in
he
good
said.
schools here.
Grace
The
looked
village is
confused.
peaceful. You
But
won't
why?
lack anything.
The children are in good schools here. Victor forced a smile. The village is peaceful. I'll send money every month. You won't lack anything. Grace trusted her husband completely. She packed their belongings, hugged her neighbors goodbye, and moved to the family house in the village with the children. The first few months were fine. Victor sent money every month exactly as he had promised. The children continued learning in a nearby school, while Grace started a small vegetable garden. Then everything changed. Victor met a 24-year-old woman named Zara. Zara wasn't just beautiful. She dressed like a fashion influencer. Every day she wore expensive corset tops, designer handbags, mini skirts, luxury heels, flawless makeup, colorful wigs, perfectly laid edges, and sparkling jewelry. She carried herself like the Queen of Lagos. Victor fell in love almost immediately. Within weeks, Zara had practically moved into Victor's mansion. She never cooked. She never cleaned. She never lifted a finger. Instead, she gave orders. Victor, buy me that latest SUV. He bought it. I don't like these curtains. He changed them. I want another apartment. He paid for it. I need a shopping trip to Dubai. He booked first-class tickets. Soon Victor wasn't making decisions anymore. Zara was. One afternoon she visited Victor's company. Employees thought she was just another visitor until Victor walked behind her carrying her handbag. Everyone froze. Victor smiled proudly. Meet Zara. From that day forward, Zara behaved like she owned the company. She walked through every department inspecting workers as if she were the managing director. One morning she stopped in front of a young accountant named Daniel. You. Daniel stood up politely. Good morning, Ma. She looked him
Good
from
morning,
head
Ma.
to toe.
You didn't tell me I looked
looked
beautiful.
I'm
Daniel
sorry?
blinked.
You heard me.
I'm sorry.
I came to work, Ma.
She folded her arms. You heard me. Daniel answered carefully. I came to work, Ma. Zara marched straight into Victor's office. Fire him. Victor didn't even ask why. Daniel received a termination letter before lunchtime. Everyone was shocked. The accountant had worked faithfully for 8 years. But nobody dared complain. The next week Zara wore a designer dress. As she walked through the office, workers stopped working. Everyone shouted together.
You look beautiful, Ma.
She smiled proudly. Only one cleaner continued mopping the floor because she hadn't noticed Zara enter.
What is your name? Linda.
Linda.
You ignored me.
You
I'm sorry,
ignored
Ma.
me.
I was cleaning.
I'm sorry,
Victor!
Ma. I was cleaning. Victor.
Yes,
Victor
Zara?
appeared immediately.
Fire
Yes,
her.
Zara. Fire her. Victor nodded. Linda lost her job instantly. Fear spread through the company. Every morning employees lined up just to compliment Zara's clothes. Your wig is gorgeous. Those heels are stunning. Your makeup is flawless. You're the most fashionable woman in Lagos. Only then were they allowed to begin working. Zara loved the attention. If someone forgot to praise her nails, they received a warning letter. If someone failed to admire her handbag, they were suspended. If someone looked tired while complimenting her, they were dismissed. Hardworking workers disappeared one after another. Experienced managers resigned because they couldn't stand the humiliation. Zara replaced them with her unemployed friends. None of them knew anything about running a business. One became finance manager because he called Zara the Queen. Another became operations director because she praised Zara's perfume every morning. Meanwhile, Victor ignored every warning. His longtime business partner begged him,
Victor, your company is changing.
is changing.
You worry
Victor
too much.
laughed.
We're losing
You worry
experienced
too
workers.
much. Another senior manager spoke carefully. We're losing experienced workers. Victor frowned. If you don't like Zara, resign. Within months, the company's performance dropped. Customers complained. Deliveries were delayed. Important contracts were canceled. Money disappeared from company accounts. Why? Because Zara had convinced Victor that company money was basically his personal wallet. Use the company account. Buy me another luxury watch. Let's renovate the mansion. I want another Range Rover. We're flying to Paris next weekend. Victor approved everything. Millions of naira vanished. Employees went months without salaries while Zara uploaded videos showing expensive vacations, designer shopping sprees, and champagne dinners. She loved posting captions like, "If your man isn't spoiling you, find another one." People online admired her glamorous lifestyle. Nobody knew the company was quietly collapsing. Back in the village, Grace noticed something strange. Victor had stopped sending money. 1 month passed. Then another. His phone became difficult to reach. When Grace finally managed to speak with him, he sounded impatient. "I'm busy. The children need school fees." "I said I'm busy." The call ended. Grace sold her jewelry. She sold part of the family farmland. She started washing clothes for neighbors. She did everything possible to feed her children. Still, she never insulted Victor. She simply prayed that one day he would remember his family. Back in Lagos, suppliers refused to release goods because invoices remained unpaid. Banks demanded repayment of huge loans. Investors withdrew. The company's biggest client signed with another business. One Monday morning, workers arrived to find electricity disconnected. The internet wasn't working. Security guards hadn't been paid. By afternoon, the news spread across Lagos. Victor's company was bankrupt. Government officials sealed the offices. Employees cried outside the building. Many had lost years of hard work. Victor rushed home looking for Zara. The mansion was empty. Every expensive dress was gone. The designer bags were gone. The jewelry was gone. Even the luxury watches Victor had bought her had disappeared. Only a short handwritten note remained on the dining table. "Take care." Victor immediately called Zara. The phone rang once. Then the call ended. He tried again. Blocked. He borrowed another phone. Blocked. He created new social media accounts. Blocked everywhere. He drove to her apartment. She had moved out weeks earlier. Neighbors said they saw expensive moving trucks loading everything before dawn. Nobody knew where she had gone. Victor finally understood. The woman he had obeyed like a king's command had never loved him. She loved his money. Without the money, he meant nothing. Days later, Victor returned to the village. His expensive suits had been replaced by simple clothes. He looked older than his 50 years. Grace opened the door. She was surprised to see him carrying only one small bag. Victor couldn't even look into her eyes. The children stood quietly behind their mother. For the first time in many years, Victor cried. He apologized for abandoning them. He confessed everything about Zara, the wasted money, the company, and the terrible decisions he had made. Grace remained silent for a long time. Finally, she spoke. "A person who forgets the people who stood beside him during the struggle will eventually stand alone when trouble comes." Victor nodded with tears rolling down his face. He had ignored loyal workers. He had abandoned his wife. He had neglected his children. He had allowed pride and blind love to destroy everything he had spent decades building. Starting over wasn't easy. Victor began doing small consulting jobs for other businesses, while Grace expanded her farming activities. Life became simple again. There were no luxury cars, no private jets, no designer shopping, but there was peace. As for Zara, rumors occasionally appeared online showing her living lavishly in another country with another wealthy older man. Nobody knew how long that relationship would last. After all, someone who chooses money over loyalty usually keeps chasing the next wallet. Victor had finally learned that beauty can attract the eyes, but only character protects the future. And in the end, the boss chick who controlled everyone left with the money, while the man who allowed himself to be controlled lost everything he had ever worked for. Thank you so much for watching Rita's Tales. If this story taught you that loyalty is more valuable than beauty, wealth, or power, let us know in the comments. Who do you think was most responsible for Victor's downfall? Victor or Zara? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another powerful African story packed with drama, suspense, inspiration, and unforgettable life lessons. Until next time, remember, character builds what beauty can never protect, and the choices you make today shape the life you live tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story on Rita's Tales.